So let's say you're of a certain vintage where the loud, shouty, hot hatch brigade just doesn't do it for you anymore. You're looking for something not so much fast and the furious, but fast and still kind of sensible. Well, Volkswagen's got just the answer. Meet the Passat 206 TSI R-Line. And under all that mature, elegant metal lives a version of the beating heart of the Volkswagen Golf R. And that means that this is going to be fun. The 206 TSI R-Line arrived in Australia in late 2016 and sits atop the Passat tree here. It's being touted as the spiritual successor to the V6 powered R36, even if it offers slightly less power and a less sporty exterior than that model. What it does offer, however, is the turbocharged 2-litre from the Golf R, which will fire 206 kilowatts and 350 newton meters to all four wheels via a 6-speed DSG transmission. And that means you'll be clipping 100 kilometers an hour in just 5.5 seconds with selectable driving modes and an adaptive chassis coming along for the ride. But all that go-fast stuff is only part of the story, with the 206 TSI more than capable of acting like a luxurious and sedate cruiser when you want it to. It might not be particularly cheap, but it is fabulously well equipped. In fact, only metallic paint and a sunroof appear on a fairly lonely options list. Everything else you see here is standard kit. Outside, you get the 19-inch alloys and sportier front end of the R-Line pack, while inside you get leather R-Line sport seats, alloy pedals and paddles, and the same flat-bottom leather steering wheel as the Golf R. You can also expect 3-zone climate control, proximity unlocking and push-button start. But the headline act here in the interior is the active info display, with this Passat the first Volkswagen car to get it. It's also known as Audi's virtual cockpit, and it's a 12.3-inch TFT display which replaces the traditional dials in the driver's binnacle. Now it's fully customizable, and it makes following things like navigation directions an absolute breeze. The 206 TSI R-Line is comprehensively equipped with safety kit too, with 9 airbags, parking sensors and a reversing camera, all arriving as standard kit. But you'll also get city speed AEB, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control and a self-parking system, all as standard. The back seat is plenty spacious too. As you can see, I'm sitting behind my own driving position and there is heaps of room. And despite the look of the roof from the outside, there's actually a fair bit of headroom back here too. Now, life's pretty comfy even if you're going 3 across, but if you're only riding with 2, there are 2 cup holders hidden in this pull-down divider that join the 2 up front, and there's room in all of the door pockets for bottles. 2 ISOFIX attachment points too, 1 in each window seat. The boot opens to reveal a hugely usable space, which is much deeper than you might expect. Now you'll get 586 litres of usable room, but to put that into some sort of perspective, it means it'll take this giant bag, this even more giant pram, and this small backpack, all without breaking a sweat. But there's actually a lot more room if you want to start squishing things in. However, drop the rear seats via these handy buttons, and life gets even easier. The Golf R is one of our favourite go-fast hatchbacks, and transferring the critical bits to the Passat has done nothing to dampen our enthusiasm. In fact, we might even like the Passat more. It might be the same engine as the Golf R, and it generates the same amount of power, but it doesn't feel as tightly wound as hot hatches sometimes can. And that's actually a really good thing. It's happy just to dawdle along comfortably in the city. The suspension's supple rather than stiff and jarring. The exhaust note isn't overbearing, neither is the sound from the engine, and it feels every bit the sort of luxury cruiser. But then you put your foot down, and the thing teleports forward like it's being shot out of a cannon. It's a real sleeper. With a mix of potent performance and very clever technology, the Passat 206 TSI R-Line is a whole heap of fun, hidden behind an elegant and understated exterior. To read the full review, click here, and don't forget to subscribe to stay on top of all our latest videos.